finally, after this thing laying in my garage floor for like 3 weeks, it seems like now, I am going to assemble the Wolf Ridge firewood bundler I ordered. I've been cutting a lot of firewood lately, and as you'll see, a lot of the videos are on my other account, Jason's Big Adventures. I'm moving everything over to my lawn care page because I don't do a lot of lawn care really anymore. And I'll keep my Jason's Big Adventures page for fishing and hiking and prepper type stuff and other stuff. So got the Husqvarna saws. I cleaned up some shelves earlier today, put the Husqvarna saws over here, cleaned up a little space in my workbench. Working on a Poulan 18-inch 42cc saw. Should have it running here pretty soon. So Wolf Ridge firewood bundler, because one, I'm cheap and I didn't have $1,500 plus to buy one of the fancy electric wrappers. And I've got several, some pine logs and some softer, or not softer, but smaller stuff split in the back. I'd like to make some firewood bundles for it because it's camping season. Today is May, I don't know what day it is. May 25th, day before Memorial Day. Got the Milwaukee 18-volt, little quarter drive impact, some Craftsman wrenches and Pittsburgh sockets. I've got Craftsman sockets over there, but they're all in a big case, and these are just accessible and easy. So let's cut this dude open. We'll get the packing slip open here. Handy dandy Smith & Wesson Extreme Ops cheap folding pocket knife. So packing slip. And basically this says that I ordered a Wolf Ridge Express wrapper, and they shipped it to me. It does say it comes with a six pack of wrap and a wrap handle, so we'll check that out here in just a bit. All right, ready? Here we go. Well, it pretty well seems like it's probably simple enough, right? Pick up a little trash here real quick. Like this stuff. It's good for padding and packing and everything else. That's just probably why they put it all in there, right? Okay. I would assume somewhere around here might be some instructions. Maybe not. It is a pretty red color. I do not like red. However, it is very pretty. It is very solid. Got the Wolf Ridge sticker on this side, which you might be able to see there. Wolf Ridge Professional Firewood Equipment on the other side. I believe that says Express Wrapper. So now we go to, first off, we're going to unwrap this. how you turn it. I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos on it, so don't expect this one to be like super fancy as far as videos, because everybody and their brother has already put one of these together. Maybe I have to go right off the top. So, looks like maybe a little bit more hardware and some instructions in this box here. And in here, if you can't tell, is sure enough a 6-pack of wrap that thinking there's something in here with this one. Okay. So here is the handle. Looks like you probably just slide your wrap on there. Put on here once it's assembled, wrap it, spin it, wrap it. So maybe tomorrow, as we're in the middle of like a full tilt monsoon here in southern Missouri right now, we might get some logs out tomorrow and actually try this out. Or I've got some split stuff. I'd like to give a few samples to some friends just to try out. Don't need that bag anymore. You might see the occasional June bug come crashing through here. The June bugs are insane right now. Last couple, 3 nights I've been in the garage, you almost have to keep the garage door shut because they just fly rampant through here. Alright, so check this out. It does come with a single sheet of color instructions, properly typed in the English language. Thank you, Wolf Ridge, for that. So, it says it's got quantities here. It's washers. It says there are 6 3/8 flat washers, and I see 6 3/8 flat washers there. It says there are 3 3/8 by 16 by 1¼ hex bolts, looks like 3. I see 3 3/8 by 16 lock nuts, that's those there. 4 1/4 Allen bolts, 1, 2, 3, and 4, yep. And 4 1/4 lock nuts, nylock nuts. Those are probably my favorite locking nut. I don't use lock washers much anymore. I spend the money and I buy the nylock lock nuts. And 1 5/32 Allen bit. Hey, handy. I've built quite a few little to-go toolkits with just free bits that stuff comes with. So they're calling this part A, and I've got this upside down. This is part C. So it says, turn this over, install part A onto part C using a 7/16 wrench and the included 5/32 bit. Install Allen head screws and lock nuts as shown. So, cool. And there's just enough on this side here. Yeah, you can't see this video, but the corner, well, you can see it over here. The corner actually overhangs enough to put those through. So, I want to pop this out. Put the Allen bit in here. And really, my 18 is probably overkill for this part. So this is my kind of my go bag for my chainsaws. I keep extended earmuffs, safety glasses, all my files. I keep my Milwaukee M12 with a 3/8 bit and a 1/2" drive socket, or a 1/2" drive, 3/8 drive 1/2" socket, and that's what I do all the, change out and reinstall all my bar nuts when I'm out in the field. If I'm sawing and need to swap out a chain or do some maintenance, I just use my little M12, pop the nuts loose, pull the bar off, and the brake handle cover and stuff, swap chains, put it back on, and go. So we'll use the 12, the M12. Milwaukee, love Milwaukee hand tools, battery powered tools. I've got both impacts, both drills, and a few other items that I slowly just, actually, this Milwaukee M12 drill and impact. My wife got these for me for Christmas when I worked at Radiophone Engineering here in Springfield, and that would have been probably 2014 or 15. I've since had one battery completely go bad. I'm still using the second battery that came with the kit. Original battery, came with the kit, original tools, and I used them a lot. So shout out to Milwaukee. Okay, so looking at the picture, they put the Allen bolt through this, the flat swivel part here. Allen head obviously up, and I know this is backwards on the camera because we're actually upside down here, but you want the Allen head on the top side because it's got to have clearance to clear that there. Wrong Milwaukee. Looks like this is just snug enough. I'm gonna have to run it through. There we go. So we'll put the nylon nut on, hold that in place. And that set of 7/16. I may not need half the tools I got out here, but I wasn't entirely sure what I was getting into. So I'm not going to completely tighten this down. I'm just going to snug it enough to kind of hold it in place, because we've got to line up the other ones here. And I'm just going to go straight across from it there. And we'll get this one in here. That lines up. It lines up fine. It's just funky enough that you can't quite get the Allen head. There we go, in there. Now that we have these Allen, the rest of this should line up good. So we'll go ahead and tighten this one down. Not crazy tight, right? Nope, not crazy tight. And yeah, we can. I don't know what I'm thinking. I can go tight because that's completely flat. So put that on there. We'll go tight with it. I'm sure that's good enough. I think these they measure them in inch pounds. It's like 1,000 inch pounds, which I think works out to. Actually, that one may not be 1,000. I can't remember. I want to think the M12 was like 83 foot-pounds, but I don't. For the most part, even on my chainsaws, I use it mostly because it's faster, and I don't go crazy with tightening those down. You know, I don't just keep running the impact on it until it quits turning the nut, because that's just crazy, and it doesn't probably need to be that tight. However, I will demonstrate here real quick. So I'm putting the nuts back on the bar. Usually, I will run it down like this. Get it close, and then once it stops free spinning, I give it the old, just maybe about 2 to 3 little pops on the ratchet end, and that's all I do on my chainsaw bars. I don't want to go too tight, even with that little guy, end up pulling the studs out of the case or something crazy, because in my world, that's how my luck works. So, okay, groovy, that spins pretty easy. Okay, step 2, set part C, the leg, onto part B, the foot. I believe is going to be this beautimous red piece here. I'm going to set this crossways like that so I can see what I'm doing. And then it says, oh no, that doesn't work. It says, and line up the holes between each piece. Okay, so we're going to have to do it crooked, like so, because this has to go more or less like this. So put a flat washer on each bolt, and I'm hoping that's going to sit there and not fall. flat washer on the bolt, and I see what's going on here. You've got the one bolt that goes through here in the back, the kind of sturdy, 2 bolts on the top. Let's go ahead and put the top bolts in. Foist. We'll put that in here. We're just going to do it loose. I'll go ahead and put this in through here. So, oh, I forgot the washer. So, well, you know what I did? I did not put a flat washer on the nut side. So, flat washer on the bolt side, flat washer on the nut side. There we go. Same for the other one here. We'll go flat washer on the bolt side. Kind of, everything's laying at an angle. Wiggle that through the hole there. Flat washer on that side. Guys, this is crazy simple. I fully expected there to be more assembly here. Obviously, I did not watch everybody else's video because there is nothing to this. I am fully confident I could have had one of my kids come out here and put this together. When am I trying? Oh, the stabilizer bolt, whatever you want to call that goes on the stand side here. Throw that on here. Okay, that's on there. Okay, we don't need that anymore. I will take my 3/8, it's not 1/2 inch. No, it won't, I'm sorry, that's quarter drive. Quarter drive, 1/2 inch socket. That's what I keep on the 12 for chainsaw. 3/8 bits over here. It's probably a standard size. We know it's not 1/2 inch. Crazy part is they actually tell you in the instructions right here. Step 4, so step 3 we did that. Flat washer on each bolt, install the bolt. Flat washer on each lock nut, put those on the bolt. Step 4, use 2 9/16 wrenches to tighten the bolts and securing parts C and B together. However, because it's all about speed and convenience, I'm not going to use a wrench. I am going to use a Harbor Freight Pittsburgh 9/16 12 point. I like 6 point better, but it is what it is. We're done with the 7/16 because we've got all those tight, right? Okay. So, grab our 9/16 here, put it on the bolt side. And yes, I will, on this part of it, let her rip until she quits. So, 9/16. There she quit. Now we obviously can't get the ratchet, the impact on the bottom side here, so we'll do it the opposite. Tell there by the sound change once it bottomed up and pulled up tight. And that's it. Step 5 says your new express wrapper is ready to use. We're done. We're done, kids. That freaking easy. Shout out to Wolf Ridge for this being crazy, crazy simple. All right, let's swap some stuff around here. I'll put that back in there because I always just keep my 3/8 in that one because I use it a lot. We'll put the quarter drive back in the quarter drive M12, Milwaukee 12-volt input with the 1/2 inch socket. It goes back in there. I'll straighten that up in a minute. We'll put, that's the metric set. I grabbed it just in case, and I'm missing the 12mm off of it. You guys ever just lose sockets? I got stuff goes missing around here. I don't even use it. It goes missing. It's the craziest thing ever. So, let me throw these back in the old toolbox real quick, just so I don't trip and fall on them. Toolbox, keep the wrenches up here for the time being until I get all this crap reorganized here. And stand this up, slot side out. Look at that. Smooth as butter. And check this out. Guess what that's for? I'll give you 3 guesses. You won't need them. Bam. Wolf Ridge Professional Firewood Equipment Express Wrapper. That's it. That's all there is to it. I'll keep the instructions just because. We'll put that over there. I'll find somewhere. I dig this. This is smaller than I thought it was going to be. I don't have anywhere right now really in the backyard to use this per se, you know, like a shop or cover or anything like that. I've been pondering enclosing underneath my deck and making that kind of, because this is a walkout basement home, and making that kind of like a storage / shop room until I can get a big shop built back here. But this will basically allow me to grab a yard cart or a wagon load of wood from the back pile back here, pull it up here with my lawnmower, Old Faithful, and I can sit here, even in the rain or whatever, in the shade, turn my music on, wrap me up some bundles. So you can kind of guesstimate about 16-inch logs roughly, and I think up to this line is maybe 3/4 of a cubic foot, maybe a cubic foot, but it gives you a rough bundle size. And you start your wraps, do 4 or 5, swing it, do around the other side, do 4 or 5, and you're done. And even though this is manual and not specifically fast, I can't imagine why you couldn't get a pretty good rhythm going and knock out several bundles in an hour's time. So I'm excited, very excited. My first Wolf Ridge product. Hoping maybe one of these days I can upgrade to a Wolf Ridge splitter, like the 17 RS. I've been looking at that one because it's kind of their entry-level fancy one, and it's a lot of money. I do have probably 30 or so full cords of wood in a pile down at a new place recently that my partner and friend secured us access to. It's about 10 or 15 minutes south of here. Got some acreage that somebody's letting us use a little bit of. So it's all down there, so I'll have to split it. And this whole operation will probably move down there eventually. I'll take this down there. We're talking about maybe getting a storage shed or one of those shipping containers, and have it set down there so we can just leave. I can leave my log splitter. I've got a North Star. I bought off a buddy who probably bought off a buddy who probably bought it off a buddy, and I'm sure it's been passed around. 20-ton, just standard splitter. It's pretty quick. I think it has like an 11-second cycle time, so it's fast-ish. And I've got a pretty good rhythm going. I actually have a log cradle sitting over there, or a log catcher that I bought off Amazon that I'm going to drill a beam, put on to kind of help that process along. So anyway, Wolf Ridge Express Wrapper. It's ready to go. If it wasn't for it being 10:30 at night, I'd go down here in the backyard and grab some wood, come up here and wrap some wood for you. But that's for another video. So again, very cool. It's red, it's pretty. Red's not my color. I think right off the bat, if I wanted to complain, and I don't want to, I'd probably put just a couple of rubber feet, something on it, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I do like the spread of the foot here is enough that you should be able to pretty efficiently set it on even some crappy ground out there at the wood yard. It's kind of muddy and grass or whatever. I might throw a pallet. I've got a bunch of wood pallets we put the wood on. I might put a pallet down and put this on it, but I'm pretty excited. So for reference, I'm 6'4", so here's waist on me, waist high, but this would be perfect. I can use this. I can get the kids involved. I got 4 kids, so I get my kids. They come out here, they can stack some wood for me, wrap it, turn it, wrap it. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Wolf Ridge.